take off. All right. Shalom. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, welcome. So we are continuing. We started the Mishnah. Let's just review quickly from the Mishnah on Yud Dal Amud Aleph. Mesachachim bin Sarim. So here we have a Sugya, which is also going to get a little maybe complicated. So I'm just giving you it's good. So Bekitzer, so according to Rabbi Yehuda, it says you're allowed to use nisarim as schach. Now what are nisarim? We say it translates here as boards. Basically, we'll call it some kind of flat wooden, board, piece of wood. And so Rabbi Yehuda holds that you could use it as schach. Rabbi Meir oser. Meir says you cannot. So why? We have to see. If you have a wooden board that is 4 tefachim wide, it says keshera, which sounds like it's saying that the wooden board itself is kosher, but then the Mishnah right away says but you can't sleep under it. So that means it's saying it's not kosher. So obviously then what the Mishnah is saying is that the board itself is not kosher schach, but it doesn't invalidate the rest of the sukkah. So maybe okay, that's the Mishnah. Let's see now the Gemara. Amar Rav Machloket ben Sarin Shish ben Arba. The machloket between Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda is if it has it's 4 tefachim wide. Why? The Rabbi Meir it legzerat tikra, Rabbi Yehuda let legzerat tikra. The machloket Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Meir is if there is a gezerat tikra. What is a gezerat tikra? We said this yesterday. That in those days especially, the roofs of their houses was made of wooden boards, and the boards were usually at least 4 tefachim wide. A tefach is anywhere between 8 and 10 centimeters. So says Rabbi Meir that Hachamim came along and said, according to Rav, that we are not going to allow you to use a wooden board that's 4 tefachim wide for schach, even though technically it is good schach because it's not makabel tuma, etc. Why? Because then people are going to say, wait a second, why should I bother moving into a sukkah? Look, my house is full of these wooden boards. I'll just stay here. And everyone agrees that a house isn't good because that's not a sukkah. That's more a house is it's a permanent structure. So therefore, Rabbi Meir says Hachamim came along and said you're not allowed to use a wooden board that's 4 tefachim wide or bigger, according to this understanding. Okay, Rabbi Yehuda let the gezerah, and Rabbi Yehuda doesn't hold to such a gezerah. He holds you could use, I guess, as big of a board as you want. Aval b'nesan she'en ban arba'a, but if it's less than 4 tefachim wide, everyone holds it's kosher because there's no reason. Like we said, because people are not going to mix it up with the house. Ushmuel amar, I'm on the 3rd line of the Gemara, 4th line. Ushmuel amar b'she'en bain arba'a machloket. No, the machloket is less than 4. You have to see why. Aval yesh ben arba'a, but if there's 4 or more, divrei hakol psula. According to Shmuel, it's the opposite. That even Rabbi Yehuda agrees that if there's 4 tefachim or more, it's pasul. Why? I guess because even Rabbi Yehuda agrees that we're afraid people are going to mix up with the house. The machloket is under 4. Now the Gemara asks right away. One second. En bain arba'a va'afilu pad mishlosha. When you say that even less than 4 it's a machloket, do you mean even less than 3? That means even the smallest piece of wood, according to Rabbi Meir, is going to be pasul. That can't be. The Gemara says because if it's 1 centimeter thick, why would Rabbi Meir hold it's pasul? It's like a mere kaneh. Kaneh is like a reed. Meaning everyone should agree that should be kosher. So the Gemara says you're right. Amar Papa Hachakam. This is what Shmuel means. Yesh ben arba'a. If there's 4 or more, everyone agrees it's pasul. Even Rabbi Yehuda. Pachol mishlosha, under 3, everyone agrees it's kosher. My time, why? Because it's mere reeds. Ki peligi mishlosha ad arba'a. Machloket, according to Shmuel, is between 3 and 4. That Mar Savar, one which is Rabbi Yehuda holds, since it's less than 4, that means it doesn't have a shir makom. Makom here means that in general, the minimum size of a makom to be, let's say, a reshut hayachid, any makom is 4 tefachim, right? A reshut hayachid needs to be 4 by 4 tefachim. A makom, that's the Gemara says in Shabbat. It's like that's the. So therefore, according to Rabbi, since it doesn't even have that, so there's no gezerah. Umar savar, kima denafke lumitrat lavud gazin. And Rabbi Meir holds above 3, since there's no lavud. What's lavud? You guys, I'm sure learn this. Is that anything under? We have 2 objects that are less than 3 tefachim next from apart. It's as if they're one. We connect them. So what does that show you? That 3 already is a chashuv to a certain degree. It's somewhat chashuv that it's not no more lavud. So Rabbi Meir says, since I see that it has that chashivut, therefore I hold that from above 3 already we're machmir. Okay, now, Tanan. The end of our Mishnah said, Natan alehan neser shura chavar batfahim kishera v'shuloshan tahta. The end of the Mishnah said that if there's a board that's 4 tefachim wide, if you put that on your sukkah, so the sukkah is kosher, but you can't sleep under the board. So bishlam al Shmuel, the amar bishin ben arba machloket. So here you're going to try to remember the different opinions. So bishlam al Shmuel, the amar bishin ben machloket, avalish ben arba divra kol pesula. According to Shmuel, who says the machloket is between 3 and 4, but everyone agrees if it's 4 or more, then even Rabbi Yehuda holds it's pasul mishmach l'shan tahtab. That's why you shouldn't sleep under it. The Mishnah says don't sleep under it. That makes sense. El Rav damar b'sheish ben arba machloket, but Rav, who holds that the machloket is dafka 4 or more, aval en ben arba divra kol kasher, but if it's less than 4, everyone holds is kosher. Why can't you sleep under Rabbi Yehuda? In other words, the Mishnah, if you look at the Mishnah, just read the Mishnah. First it brings a machloket to Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda, and then it says, if it's 4, don't sleep under it. Now, it didn't say at the end, Divrei Rabbi Meir. So the last line implies, it seems, it's according to everyone. You understand? The last line of the Mishnah, it seems to be anonymous. Sounds like even Rabbi Yehuda agrees. The question is, according to Rav, Rabbi Yehuda does not agree to the last part of the Mishnah, because according to Rabbi Yehuda, even 4 or more is kosher. So according to Rabbi Yehuda, you are allowed to sleep under it. So why does the Mishnah says no? So this seems to support Shmuel. The Gemara answers, Misara divra kol, last line. Misara divra kol hi. You think the last line is according to everyone? No. Sefas Rabbi Meir. The last line is Rabbi Meir, meaning, even though it doesn't say so, which isn't actually the end of the world, by the way, because you know that there's a general rule that when you don't, the Mishnah, Stam Mishnah Rabbi Meir, when the Mishnah doesn't say who it is, usually it's Rabbi Meir. So, okay, fine, therefore it's okay. All right. Huh? Good?
Always good.
Always good. Baruch Hashem. Always good. Tashema, we're flying here. We could do like 2 amuds or no. Tashema. Yeah, Dafi. Okay, we're gonna convert this before it comes back to that. Tashema, come in here. Shnei Sidinim Mitzarfin. This is a braita. It says two. What does it translate? Sheets. 2 sheets can combine. Now, what does that mean? 2 sheets can combine. So basically, because a sheet is not fit for schach, because it could be mekabel tuma, meaning the point is even if it comes from the ground, even if it's made of cotton and stuff. Now it's saying that if 2 sheets are next to each other, that let's say it's that each of the sheets is less than 4 tefachim wide, they can combine to not lavud, because let's say it's already 3, it's lavud, but rather to passel the entire sukkah. How? Because there's an important rule here. I'm going to read this as a rule. An invalid item that is at least 4 tefachim wide and runs across the middle of the schach, more than 4 amot away from each wall, disqualifies the entire sukkah. In other words, we're going to see right now, so just that there's 2 separate rules here. When the schach, when there is pasel schach on the edge of the sukkah, let's say this is my sukkah, the edge, then I can go up to 4 amot and it's still not pasul. That means my sukkah is not pasul. Why? Because there's a concept called dofen akuma. We look at the wall as bending. It's bending. It means that it's not that the schach becomes part of my wall. So it says this is part of the wall. So I could go up to 4 amot. 4 amot is like 7 feet. That's a lot. Each amma is 6 tefachim. So 4 ammas is 24 tefachim. Up to 24 tefachim, it's still, right? Two boards next to each other, they don't combine to passel this sukkah. Now, the question is obviously going to be, what is this talking about? What Rabbi Meir Omer, Rabbi Meir says, no, boards are like sheets. Just like sheets combine to passel, so does boards. Now, the question is, Bishlama, I want to know what's going on. What's the case? Well, how big is this board that we're just, right? So, Bishlama lishmuel, the Amar B'She'en, Bahin Arba Machlok, B'She'en Arba'a, Divra Kol Psula. Remember, according to Shmuel, the Machloket Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Meir is when it's between 3 and 4. Okay? According to, right? So if it's between less than 3, everyone holds is kosher. More than 4, everyone holds is pasul. Between 3 and 4, Rabbi Meir holds pasul. Rabbi Yehuda says kosher. So according to Shmuel, my mitztarfin arba'a. The case of the Braita is what? That we have 2 boards. Each one has, let's say, 3 tefachim. They're next to each other. Okay? So according to Rabbi Meir, each by itself is pasul. But each by itself, because it's only 3, is not going to invalidate the entire sukkah. We said it has to be 4 to invalidate the entire sukkah. So therefore, it says, according to Rabbi Meir, they can combine to become 1. So now we have a board of 6. So 6 will invalidate the whole sukkah. Right? That's what the Braita means. And wait 1 second. And according to that, what would Rav say? Rav says simple. 3 and 3, they're kosher. So of course they're not going to combine to invalidate the sukkah because it's kosher. It's kosher. The schach, you can use it for a schach. Fine, that good. El Rav, so El Rav Damar B'Sheish Ben Arba Machloket. We're going to show that the Braita only makes sense according to Shmuel, but according to Rav, that it says that the entire Machloket is when it's 4 or more. Aval En Ben Arba Dirakol Ksher. But if it's less than 4, everyone holds is kosher, right? According to Rav, under 4, everyone holds kosher. Above 4, Rabbi Meir holds is pasul. Rabbi Yehuda holds is kosher. According to Rav, what's the case of the Braita? Think about it. If the boards are 4 or more, why would Rabbi Meir say it combines? What do you mean combines? You don't need to combine. If each is 4, that means 1 by itself already passes the whole sukkah. Because you said 4 is enough to pass the sukkah. So what does that mean when he says combines? And if it's less than 4, also it's not going to combine because according to Rabbi Meir, according to Rav, less than 4, everyone agrees, even Rabbi Meir, that it's kosher schach. So of course it's not going to combine to passel the schach. So the point is that according to Rav, it's hard to understand what the case is of the Braita. Are you guys with me? I don't know. I lost everyone. It's okay, as long as I understand. Okay. I'll try to go back and review. So rather the case according to Rav is that it does have 4 tefachim. What was the question? Then if it's 4, why do you need to combine? You don't need it to combine, according to Meir, right? We're not talking about it's in the middle of the sukkah. Because if it's in the middle, we just say you don't need it. The answer is, it's talking about it's on the side. And remember, to be on the side, it has to be up to 4 amot to pasul. So therefore, that's what Meir means, that if you have a bunch of boards that are 4 tefachim wide next to each other, they can combine to become 4 amot to pasul the sukkah. So, I don't know how to explain this again, meaning I'm just going to be going through the whole thing. The point is that the Gemara is saying that even Rav will explain this Braita, that the Nakuda is, you have to basically just keep reviewing to yourself what's the machlok according to Rav, what's according to Shmuel, and how to fit into the Braita. So according to Shmuel, it's very simple. We're talking about a sukkah that has boards of 3 tefachim. According to Rabbi Yehuda, it's kosher schach, so obviously not going to passel. According to Rabbi Meir, where 3 is where 3 is pasul, so what? But 3 is not going to pasul the whole sukkah. You need 4. So that's why Amir says it combines to pasul the sukkah. That's according to Shmuel. According to Rav, since we have to be talking about a board that's 4 tefachim, because less than 4 everyone holds is kosher. So when Rabbi Meir says they combine, remember the whole problem is, what do you mean combine? If it's 4, then you don't, that itself is enough to pasul the sukkah, like we just said. If it's in the middle, right? That was, and we assumed. So the Gemara is saying, no, you thought we're talking about that it's in the middle. The answer is talking about to the side, and to the side you need 4 amot. So that's what Mary holds, that it means when he says it combines to pasul the sukkah. That's what, okay?
So what's the chiddush of 4 tefachim then? If you have up to 4 amos,
no.
4 tefachim is way less than 4 amos.
No, that's the point. So if you have a bunch of those together, next to each other, you have
several.
There's several, that's what it means. That's what Mary holds, but that they combine to pasul.
So Mary was thinking about the multiple, not just one.
Well, that's for sure. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about that's the Breita is talking about when if and how they combine.
So
they
under
combine.
3 he says it's good or no?
Well, again, according to everyone agrees that under 3 is good.
But if they combine.
No. Again, you have to remember, only when it's pasul schach they can combine to pasul the entire sukkah. Remember, don't get mixed up. We have pasul schach, and then we have pasul sukkah. Sometimes you have pasul schach, that's not going to make the whole sukkah pasul. Just don't sleep under it, like we said in there, right? But sometimes it can invalidate the whole sukkah. So we said how? If it's on the side, if it's 4 amot or more, the whole sukkah is pasul, because that invalidates that entire wall, so there's no wall. There's only 2 walls. And if it's in the middle of the sukkah, meaning more, then even 4 tefachim will pasul. We'll divide this.
It into 2.
Yeah, divide this. Yeah, exactly. Technically, if you had 4 walls, then it could be each side will still be kosher. You know.
So would it pasul it because of the lack of walls, or would it pasul it because for another reason?
Yeah. Meaning, it's because let's say we're talking only 3 walls, or that it's too small to divide into 2. Okay.
So only 3 walls, then it can invalidate it.
Well, again, meaning either 3 walls or 4 walls, but it's small enough that if you split each side, each one is too small. You understand? Fine. Okay, that was one understanding of the Lishnach means another version. Bishlama Lishlumal. The Gemara is giving a different understanding, a different version of what the question was. Bishlama Lishmuel Aman, like the 12th line. The first word of the line is Shmuel. Bishlama Lishmuel the Amar Beshen Bain Arba Machloket. Avalish Ben Arba Dibra Kol Pesula. According to Shmuel, like we said, that under 4 is the machlok, between 3 and 4 is the machlok, but above, but 4 or more, everyone holds his pasul. My misarfim misarfim arba midnatzad. When it says that according to Rabbi Meir that they combine, what does it mean combine? It means they combine to make 4 amas from the side. But according to Rab, Bishlam Rabbi Meir, I understand Rabbi Meir, my misarfim misarfim arba midnatzad. What does it mean when it combines? It means it combines, like we said, 4 amot. Rabbi Yehuda, damar afilu shben arba keshera. But according to Rabbi Yehuda, who says even 4 or more is kosher, my en mitzarfin kan ba'almaninu. Problem is, what does Rabbi Yehuda mean when he says 2 boards don't combine? Of course they don't combine. Imagine I told you 2 palm branches don't combine. Well, yeah, I mean it's kosher schach. Of course they don't combine. The whole concept of combining means to pasul the sukkah. Of course, it's not going to pasul the sukkah because it's kosher schach. So what does Rabbi Meir mean? Rabbi Yehuda mean when he says it doesn't combine? So that's the question. According to the Gemara answers, I did come Rabbi Meir mitzarfin. You're right. He didn't have to say don't combine. You're right. But since Rabbi Meir holds it does combine, Rabbi Yehuda mitzarfin. The Rabbi Yehuda just used the same language, says it does not combine. But yes, enachanami. That's the point. The point is that according to Rabbi Yehuda, it's kosher.
So why would you use the same language?
No, sometimes that's why we just follow, just make it
for
consistency. Yes. Okay. Tanya Kavate de Rav. Tanya Kavate de Shmuel. Wow, I didn't realize I'm going to get up to here so fast, so I'm going to actually be learning this with you right now. I didn't really practice this so much, but let's try. So now, are we almost at the limit of the Amud? So I have to slow down here, right? It's okay.
You always go back.
We're making up for all the lacks of before. Okay. Tanya Kavate de Rav. So, this means there's a Breita supporting Rav. I mean, listen, if you haven't asked me, but I'm just going to. Tanya de Shmuel. Breita supporting Shmuel.
Great.
Tanya. Okay, so Tanya covered the Rav. The Braita that what Sikacha b'nisarim shel erez she'en bain arba'a. Okay, so should we just quickly review? Rav holds that the machloket is 4 or more. Okay, according to Rav, less than 4 tefachim, everyone holds it's kosher. 4 or more, Rabbi Meir holds pasul, Rabbi Yehuda holds kosher, and the machloket is because whether we're gonna make a gezerah that, according to Meir, people we're not allowed to use 4 more, so that you don't think you can use your house. That's according to Rav. So let's see. Sichecha b'nisarim shel erez. If you covered your sukkah with boards of cedar, she'en ban arba'a, that's less than 4. Divra kol kashera. This is a beferush raya to Rav. It says less than 4, everyone holds is kosher. Yesh ben arba'a, if it's 4 or more, Rabbi Meir posav Rabbi Yehuda machshir. This is you don't get an easier support to Rav than this. It's like literally saying his opinion. Okay? Now, Amar Rabbi Yehuda said, Maaseh bish'at, this is Maaseh bish'at Sukkah, one time in the time of danger. Now, what does this mean? Apparently, at one time, the Goyim made it forbidden to, I guess, make Sukkot. So one time, in order to, I guess, we brought boards that had 4 tefachim. We put them on top of a porch, and we sat under them. I guess they did it in a way that it doesn't look like they're making a sukkah. They're just like covering their porch, like they're living, like, yeah. So it says that's why they brought boards that are 4 tefachim wide, because these kinds of boards are usually used to make houses. So the goyim wouldn't suspect they're making a sukkah. They're just making, right? Okay. Amrulo. So now, why is Rabbi Yehuda saying this to bring support that even 4 tefachim is kosher, right? This is Amrulo. They told him, no, Misham Raya, you bring a proof from there. And Shad Sakana Raya, you can't bring a proof from the time of danger. Now, it's very strange. Okay, so what? You're telling me, I guess Rabbi Meir is saying that even though in general it's pasul, because even Rabbi Meir holds mamash, it's not pasul midoraita. I guess you have to say it like this. It's not pasul midoraita. It's only gezerah. So says Rabbi Meir, at the time of sakana, hachamim were allowed you to use the boards. You can't. There's not a proof that in general you're allowed to use it. That's not a proof, right? Okay, that's the end of the braita. But the main reason we brought the braita is to support Rav. Okay, so fine. Tanya kavete dishmuel. What's the okay? Sikacha b'nesem shel erez shesh ben arba. So this is now a braita that supports Shmuel. If you put boards of cedar that are 4 tefachim wide or more, divrei hakol pesula, says beferush, everyone holds it's pasul. That's exactly like what Shmuel says. And bahin arba'a, if it's less than 4, meaning between 3 and 4, Rabbi Meir posel b'yud machshir. This is a very rare case where you have 2 braitas that literally repeat almost verbatim, like such an easy way. One supports one amora, one supports that amora. It's like, a lot of times the Gemara has to go through a whole explanation of how it supports. Is literally each braita is saying, yeah, exactly, one of the 2 sides. Okay, continues the braita. Umodeh, I don't know if you guys are with me. The first words of the line is Rabbi Yehuda. It's like a little toward past the half. Umodeh Rabbi Meir, and Rabbi Meir agrees. Shim yesh ben neser leneser kimlo neser shemaniach psal benehem uchshera. Rabbi Meir agrees that even if you have boards that are 3 tefachim, which according to Meir 3 tefachim is already pasul, but if in between each of the between the boards you put kosher schach, which is the amount this amount of the board, then this chach is kosher. No, meaning that even though Rabbi Meir holds that a board 3 tefachim wide is pasul, but if you put a space of 3 tefachim between each between the boards and you fill the space with kosher schach, so he says the sukkah is kosher.
Even if it's over 3? Even if it's over 4?
No, we're talking about if it's 3. If the board is between 3 and 4. Now we're gonna have to explain, I think, eventually, why is it kosher? L'chor, you have half kosher, half pasul. So don't you need a majority of kosher to be kosher, right? Usually you need a majority. So I think the Gemara is going to talk about that.
What is samniach?
What?
What is samniach?
Maniach. She maniach. That you place. Pisal. I don't know if... Okay. Pisal maniach. Umode Rabbi Yehuda. And Rabbi Yehuda agrees. What happened?
Note 16 says,
Yes.
this refers to all types of boards that were married deemed invalid, even those that are
Oh, wow. Nice. See, good. That you caught me because I didn't... Yeah. Right, so here we see that Rabbi Meir is even talking about even when it's 4 tefachim wide. Okay, no, I guess that still makes sense, I guess, because we still have half good, half bad. Yeah, lachora. The only question is going to be when it's 4, the bigger kasha is because if you have a 4 in the middle, then that should invalidate the whole sukkah. I think that's the Gemara is going to talk about. Okay.
Everyone agrees that the 4 tefachim is invalid, right?
If it's in the middle, meaning if it's more than 4 amot from the side, and it grows across the entire sukkah, everyone agrees that it splits the sukkah in half. It's yeah.
It's on the side.
So it's funny how the picture on, if you have the art school, actually will give you the answer already, because that's the what?
It's on the side. You can't say dofen akuma if it's 4, right?
No, the point if it's on the side, then you do say dofen.
How far can you extend to?
Up to 4 amot.
Oh, up to 4.
Up to 4 amot. Yeah, less than 4. Okay. So the Gemara, Braita says, Rabbi Yehuda agrees. If you put a board that has 4 tefach kishira, the sukkah is kosher. But you cannot sleep under the board. And someone who did, he didn't fulfill his obligation because, in other words, this is according to this understanding, even Rabbi Yehuda agrees that if it's 4 or more, that it's pasul. Okay. Technically, if you want, I guess. We're good for today. I guess you're saying. Okay. So basically, and now that we're stopping, I said if you look in the picture on note 18, if you have the art scroll, it shows you why it doesn't pasul this whole sukkah. Because the way, if you see it set up, is that it starts with 4, a board of 4, and then the point is that you don't have 4 amot on the sides because it's 4 times 5 is 20 tefachim. 20 tefachim is less than 4 amot, so therefore you don't have. So therefore the point is that you look at it as each side is dofen akuma. And in the middle, you have 8 tefachim of kosher schach. So basically, according to Rabbi Meir, that sukkah is the reason why the sukkah is kosher is because you look at the only the middle 8 tefachim is kosher. That's the point of this. That's what he means. That's the case that you use for dofen akum on both sides, so the walls extend till 20 tefachim on each side, and the middle 8 is kosher, which means you could only sit under the middle 8 tefachim. Okay, I guess.
20 tefachim is less than 4.